Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're not just looking at, a moment in history. We're examining a whole social system that spectacularly failed. The French Revolution wasn't just some sudden spark.
No, not at all. It was more like a slow-burning fire, wasn't it? Fueled by centuries of problems that just couldn't hold anymore.
Exactly. So today, let's really dig into what they call the Ancien Régime, the old order.
Right. Our mission is to unpack the deep roots of the inequality, the injustice, and frankly, the sheer arrogance that led to France basically exploding in 1789.
Okay, so this old order, if you had to picture it, what's the structure that just screams unfairness?
Well, it's that pyramid structure, but one built entirely on injustice, where the top takes everything and gives back practically nothing. It was rigidly divided into 3 estates.
3 estates.
First, you've got the clergy. They're less than 1% of everyone. But they held enormous wealth, owned huge amounts of land, collected tithes.
And the crucial part.
They paid 0 taxes, absolutely none. Imagine that level of privilege.
Okay, so less than 1% pays nothing. What about the second estate? The nobility.
The nobility. Maybe 1.5% of the population. They controlled, what, nearly a quarter of all the land in France?
A quarter, just for them.
Yeah. Lived off rents, feudal dues, basically income they didn't work for in the modern sense, and again, special privileges, shielded from most taxes.
What kind of privileges are we talking about day to day, beyond just dodging taxes?
Well, things like still collecting feudal dues. Peasants had to pay to use the noble's mill or wine press, exclusive hunting rights. They pretty much monopolized top jobs in the army and government.
So inherited power with no real justification by that point.
Pretty much. The old idea of military service in exchange for land was long gone. It was just privilege for its own sake.
Okay, so that leaves the third estate, which is...
everyone else, 90% of the country.
98%.
Yeah. Peasants, city workers, artisans, merchants, lawyers, even the rising middle class, the bourgeoisie, they were the ones actually running the country, making things, trading things.
And paying for everything.
Paying for everything. The mainland tax, the taille, the hated salt tax, the gabelle. Endless feudal dues. And critically, they had absolutely no say in how the country was run, no political voice.
It sounds completely unsustainable, a system just waiting to crack.
And it did. The next big blow was the money crisis. By the late 1700s, France was, drowning in debt.
What pushed them over the edge financially?
A couple of things. Decades of expensive wars, for one. And financing the American Revolution, ironically, cost an absolute fortune, plus, the sheer cost of the monarchy in Versailles.
How bad was it?
Get this. By 1788, literally half of France's national income was going just to pay the interest on its loans.
Half. Just interest.
Just interest. Imagine running your household like that. And the infuriating thing, people tried to reform it. Ministers suggested fairer taxes, maybe getting the nobles and clergy to pay something.
But
blocked every single time. The privileged orders refused point blank to give up their exemptions. Let someone else pay.
So while the rich protected their money, what's happening to the 98%?
They're starving, literally. You get a couple of really bad harvests in 1787, 1788. The price of bread just skyrockets.
And bread wasn't just food, it was.
It was everything. For the poor, bread was life. When its price doubled or tripled, people couldn't afford to live. That's when you start seeing serious, widespread riots. Desperation.
Okay, so you have this crushing poverty, this blatant injustice, this financial mess.
Yeah.
But there's another piece, right? The ideas.
Exactly. The Enlightenment, this huge intellectual shift happening across Europe. It gave people, especially that educated third estate, a new language.
A language of what?
Liberty, equality, reason, popular sovereignty. Thinkers like Montesquieu talking about separating powers, Voltaire on free speech, Rousseau saying power comes from the people, not the king.
So these weren't just abstract ideas in books?
Not anymore. They became like weapons. Justification. They showed the third estate, particularly the bourgeoisie who had wealth but no power, that the way things were wasn't natural or inevitable.
It gave them a framework to say, this is wrong, and here's why, and here's how it could be.
Precisely. It provided the intellectual fuel for the fire.
So let's pull it together. By 1789, you've got this toxic mix. A deeply divided society, crippling debt, people literally starving for bread.
And overlaid on all of that, these powerful new ideas saying the whole system is unjust and illegitimate.
It really does feel like an unavoidable pressure cooker, doesn't it? The old order wasn't just creaking, it was fundamentally broken.
Completely. The pressure just kept building and building.
Makes you think, doesn't it? How that combination, the sheer economic hardship, The rigid unfairness and those potent ideas finally reached a point where the only possible outcome was a complete explosion of the existing system. It shows how even centuries-old structures can shatter when enough people see them as both unsustainable and morally wrong.
Subscribe for the next part, The Kingdom in Crisis.